what you're gonna say, son. And you're right. You're right.
Sometimes a dad can be his son's first best friend or even his first superhero.
You locked it! I locked it!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 father and son movies. For this list, we're looking at films that center on some memorable or awesome father and son relationships. Since it's the movies and all, throwing the ball around in the backyard with your old man isn't quite as exciting as, say, hitting the road with your dad to avoid being murdered. But in addition to all the high-stakes drama, you can tell these movie dads would do anything for their movie sons. Number 10, Super 8.
Hey, I'll be out in a minute.
Losing your mother in a factory accident can be a stressful time for a teenage boy and his father.
It was an accident.
Having to deal with an escaped alien in the wake of that loss can make things that much more strained.
There's a monster out there, Joe! Who is he?
In this 2011 sci-fi thriller, Joe and Jack Lamb are a father and son, still reeling from the devastating tragedy when an unconventional threat upends their lives.
Just because Mom died doesn't mean that you know anything about me. You don't.
This causes Jack to kick into protective father mode and go on a rescue mission to save his teen boy and his friends from a desperate creature at its wit's end.
I got you. I got you.
Number 9, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Dad! Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! What?
It's not difficult to see where Indiana Jones got his fascination with historical artifacts.
This should be in a museum. I'll give it back.
In this third installment of the Indiana Jones franchise, Sean Connery plays Indy's estranged father, Professor Henry Jones, who also happens to enjoy hunting for super ancient memorabilia.
Junior?
Yes, sir.
It is you, Junior.
His obsession with the Holy Grail has put him in the crosshairs of a troop of Nazis that are also hot on the Grail's trail.
The quest for the Grail is not archaeology. It's a race against evil. If it is captured by the Nazis, the armies of darkness will march all over the face of the earth.
Junior then sets out to save his father from almost certain death, and also prevent the Grail from falling into the wrong hands.
I thought I'd lost you, boy. I had to, sir.
Number 8, East of Eden.
Dad mad at me? Well, you were out all night. He was worried.
In this not-so-subtle interpretation of the story of Cain and Abel, James Dean plays Cal, a young man desperate for his father's affection at the height of World War I.
I'm very pleased with the way you're taking hold, and they're working so well, Cal.
Thanks, Dad.
He's also fairly resentful of his brother Aaron, who is the apple of his father's eye.
Fix me, Aaron.
You finished?
Cal spends the better part of the film looking for ways to earn his father's approval, including starting a lucrative business and attempting to gift his dad with a large sum of cash.
I've been jealous all my life. Jealous I couldn't even stand it. Tonight I even tried to buy your love.
It's only when he's felled by a debilitating stroke after his favorite son enlists in the army that Cal's father finally makes an effort to reconcile with his son.
That woman, nurse, can't stand it. Get me another.
Number 7, The Road.
You have my heart. Always did.
In The Road, Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith-McPhee play a father and son who have managed to survive an apocalyptic event that has ravaged the entire globe.
The roads are peopled by refugees towing carts and gangs carrying weapons, looking for fuel and food.
This, of course, leaves them with a lot of father-son bonding time.
What is this place, Papa?
The house where I grew up.
The two are trekking towards the coast in an effort to make it through the winter. But they encounter some snags along the way.
They're gonna rape me, and then they're gonna rape your son, and they're gonna kill us and eat us.
That is, if you consider murderous groups of roving cannibals to be snags.
Cannibalism is the great fear.
Unsurprisingly, the two are brought together by the hardships of their existence.
I'll be right. We'll just keep heading south.
Surviving an apocalypse can really bring a family together.
We have to. We will survive this. We are not gonna quit.
Number 6, Finding Nemo.
Now, what's the one thing we have to remember about the ocean?
It's not safe.
That's my boy.
When you lose your fish wife and almost all of your fish egg children in a predator attack, chances are you're going to be a little protective of the only child you have left.
So, first, we check to see that the coast is clear. We go out and back in. And then we go out and back in. And then one more time.
That's exactly the case in this mega successful Pixar adventure that follows a slightly neurotic father fish as he desperately seeks to rescue his captured son.
So where are you going?
Well, you see, my son was taken. My son was taken away from me.
No way.
After Nemo is taken by a scuba diving dentist, Nemo's father, Marlin, sets out on an epic adventure to track him down.
Can I help you?
Something's wrong with you. Really. You're wasting my time. I have to find my son.
Through their separate ordeals, Marlin and Nemo wind up closer, even as Marlin understands that there are also times when he needs to let go.
Dad, you can let go now.
Sorry. Now go have an adventure.
Goodbye! See you later, dudes!
Bye, Elmo!
Nemo.
Nemo!
Number 5, Beginners.
Jesus, Pop.
Choose it yourself.
Told through a series of flashbacks, this story centers on the relationship between a young man and his father, who comes out as gay following his wife's death.
6 months later, my father told me he was gay. He had just turned 75.
I'm gay.
I always remember him wearing a purple sweater when he told me this, but actually he wore a robe.
I'm gay.
Certainly a case of better late than never, the older gentleman begins to explore his life out in the open, while also building his relationship with his son.
He changed all his clothes. He got a boyfriend, Andy, a physical trainer who was also studying for his professional pyrotechnic license.
Over the course of the romantic comedy, the son witnesses a transformation in his father that inspires him in his own life, namely his romantic pursuits.
My father died 2 months ago, maybe almost 3. He was gay.
Filled with humor and touching moments, Beginners is a coming-of-age tale for a father and son that are just figuring out how to live their lives.
Look, I like my life. The museum, our house. That's what I wanted.
And Mom. You wanted Mom too, right?
Yes.
Number 4, Road to Perdition.
He's my son.
In this somber crime thriller, Tom Hanks plays Michael Sullivan Sr., the adopted and highly favored son of a mob boss.
Sons are put on this earth to trouble their fathers.
The life of an enforcer doesn't come without its hazards, though, as Sullivan's own son witnesses a crime that sets in motion a course of events, leading to the death of his mother and younger brother. Sullivan and his son then go on the run, looking for sanctuary as well as a means to avenge the deaths in their family.
Don't go!
Tomorrow when they find out we're gone, they're gonna come after us. I have to protect you now.
And while their relationship propels the film forward, Michael also has to contend with the actions of his adopted father and unstable brother.
This is the life we chose, the life we lead. And there is only one guarantee. None of us will see heaven.
Number 3, Kramer versus Kramer.
Daddy. I love you.
I love you too.
This drama sees Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep play a divorced couple locked in a fierce custody battle for their young son.
I want my son.
You can't have him.
In the critically acclaimed film, Ted Kramer's wife Joanna suddenly walks out on him and her son to find herself.
Mommy couldn't stay anymore. It was because she couldn't stand me, Billy. She didn't leave because of you. She left because of me.
This means Ted and Billy are suddenly thrown together and must adjust to a life without her.
I don't want to be late for school. See you later.
Wait a minute, let me give you your homework. You make your...
And while it's not initially easy, the two eventually form an intense father and son bond. However, that's later threatened by Joanna's sudden reappearance.
I'm his mother. I'm his mother.
Number 2, Life is Beautiful.
Buongiorno, principessa!
Having your entire family put in a concentration camp is not supposed to be an enjoyable experience by any stretch of the imagination.
Quando mangiamo?
Ma che giorno è oggi, scusa? Ma è il giorno del tuo compleanno, Giuseppe. Ma avevi sempre detto che volevi fare un bel viaggio, no? Vedi?
And yet, imagination is exactly what the father in this film relies on to shelter his son from the horrors of their surroundings.
Hai capito? È tutto organizzato. Poi ci sono gli uomini di qua, le donne di là, e poi ci sono i soldati. Ci danno tutti gli orari. È difficile, non è facile.
After Jewish shop owner Guido, his wife, and his son are placed in one such camp at the height of World War II, he convinces Joshua that it's all an elaborate game that everyone else is in on.
Alles raus auf den Hof, aber schnell! Non chiedete i lecca perché non ve li danno, ce li mangiamo tutti noi! Antreten in Zweierreihe! Io ieri ne ho mangiati 20!
But while he may have shielded his son from the brutality of their situation, his imagination won't be enough for all of them to make it out completely unscathed. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You love your father?
Yes, sir.
One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
I like to drink wine more than I used to. Anyway, I'm drinking more. It's good for you, Pop.
Perfect cast. It's called happiness.
Number 1, The Pursuit of Happiness. This poignant biographical drama follows Will Smith as Chris Gardner, an ambitious man struggling to make it amid hardship.
Listen, that's all the money that I have. You cannot go into my bank account. No.
As Gardner vies for a position at a brokerage firm, he and his young son, played by Smith's real-life son Jaden, soon find themselves without a roof to live under.
I want to go home.
This father-son duo endures homeless shelters and overnight stays in public restrooms as Gardner struggles to keep a brave face for Christopher.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thankfully, the ending is one that sort of makes it okay to unleash the man-tears that have accumulated over the course of the last 2 hours.
So, welcome. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, sir. No, sir, it wasn't.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite father and son film?
Jim, I'm just going to say one thing before you leave tonight.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I want you to be very, very careful when you're putting on the corsage.